Caitlyn
and Ashley, and we're making Sloppy Joe rolls.
Okay, so what a Sloppy Joe roll is Sloppy Joe mix in like a little doughy like crescent roll. So we have a cup of hot water, yeast packets, 4 ounces of butter, sugar, a cup of milk, and 1 egg. So what we're gonna do is pour the yeast into the water, and you want to stir it until it gets a little foamy. Now that the yeast is foamy, you want to add 1 beaten egg, half cup of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt, and 4 ounces of slightly melted butter, and 1 cup of warm milk. You want to mix it with a whisk until it's completely mixed together and smooth. You want to add 5 cups of flour slowly, and in between every cup you want to stir.
While we were making our dough, we boiled a pot of water so we could put it in the oven so our dough would rise. After you're done making your dough, you want to flour a countertop so your dough doesn't stick to it so you can knead it. You want to be generous with your flour so your dough doesn't stick to the countertop, to anything else you're working with, or to itself, and it's not sticky. After flouring your countertop, you want to knead your dough on it, and you do that by putting the palm of your hand into the dough 5 or 6 times so it doesn't stick. You put a damp washcloth over your dough while you put it in the oven to rise to keep moisture in.
After your water is boiling and you're done kneading your dough, you want to put the boiling pot of water in the oven for 20 minutes to let your dough rise.
That was how you make the dough for the Sloppy Joe rolls, and now we're making the Sloppy Joe mix. You want to take 1.5 pounds of ground beef and fry it in a pan until it's brown.
Now it's time to chop your onion. You want to make sure while chopping your onion that your knife is sharp and you're using a chef's knife. You want to use the claw so you don't like chop off your fingers or anything. And it's just like a simple chop, so I'm dicing the onion. It's just a small little cut just to flavor the ground beef. After your onion is chopped, add it to the ground beef so it can saute and add flavor.
Now that our onion is sauteed in, we want to transfer all of this into a bigger pot so we can mix it with the other ingredients. To finish making our Sloppy Joes, we want to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar to our mix. And this is 1/2 cup of ketchup, 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce, and 2 tablespoons mustard. And we want to add that too so it flavors it. And it's going to turn out really nice.
Now that our dough is done rising, we are going to make the balls to start putting together the Sloppy Joe rolls. Before you make the rolls, you might need to flour your hands and add a little more flour to the rolls. Because of all the moisture, it gets a little sticky.
While forming the rolls out of the dough, you want to make 3 or 4 inch balls and flatten them and put them on a greased pan so your Sloppy Joe can go in the middle and bake. Take a spoonful of sloppy joe mix, about that much, and put it in the center of the roll that you made, so you can fold it over so it stays. This is what the sloppy joe rolls would look like before you put them in the oven to bake. They're folded over so the sloppy joes bake inside and the dough stays soft.
Preheat the oven to 425 and put them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. After 15 minutes of being in the oven, the sloppy joe rolls are done.
That's how you make sloppy joe rolls. Hope you guys enjoy.